Brilliance Audio presents First Sight by Danielle Steele, performed by Arthur Morey. The pilot's voice on the Alitalia flight to Paris from Milan woke Timmy from a brief nap. She was exhausted after a week in New York, then 2 more in Europe, first in London, then in Milan. It was a pilgrimage she made twice a year in February and October for the ready-to-wear fashion shows, the famous Pret-a-Porter. She was the founder, guiding light, principal designer, and CEO of the most important men's and women's ready-to-wear lines in the United States, with subsidiary companies in Europe, which was what brought her to the European ready-to-wear shows twice a year. She showed her U.S. lines with the other American designers in New York during the first week, and then showed her French subsidiary lines in Paris. And in between, she attended 2 London and Milan runway shows, and she went to Men's Fashion Week in Paris as well, for her men's lines. Timmy O'Neill had run her business single-handedly for 23 years, since she was 25 years old, when it all began. At 48, her empire was so vast it encompassed children's wear, home furnishings, and decorating accessories, including wallpaper, sheets, towels, and linens. 10 years before, they had added cosmetics, men and women's skincare products, and 6 perfumes, which had stunned them all with their universal appeal and almost instant success in every country where they were sold. Timmy O'Neill was a name that was known worldwide, and associated with style, fashion at a range of price points, and astonishing success. The world of Timmy O had been a legendary victory for more than 2 decades, and now its founder and CEO was heading for Paris to oversee the October ready-to-wear show of its European-based lines. The rest of the American designers wore themselves out during the frenzy of Fashion Week in New York, without adding the insanity of the European pret-a-porter. Only Timmy did both, with her boundless energy and success. But even she was exhausted after Milan, and absolutely drained when she thought of doing the show in Paris. The clothes they had shown in New York had been received with even greater than usual kudos from the press. For her entire career, it seemed, Timmy O'Neill had had a Midas touch, and could do no wrong in the eyes of the fashion world. Even during the occasional seasons when she had been less pleased with their lines herself, or the critics had been slightly less in love with them, they had done staggeringly well nonetheless. Everything Timmy did, she did well. She threw herself into all she undertook with perfectionism and inimitable style and grace. She was relentless in how hard she pushed herself, far more than anyone else, and what she expected of herself. She had an uncanny knack for predicting what the world would want to wear, live with, and smell like long before they thought about it themselves. Along with their clothing lines, their perfumes were among the biggest sellers in the world. She had chosen the scents and designed the packaging herself. There was very little that Timmy O'Neill didn't do well, brilliantly in fact, except maybe cook, and dress, she liked to say. As sensitive and forward-thinking as her designs were, she insisted that most of the time she didn't care what she wore herself. She had little time to give it much thought, although the clothes she designed had made her famous, particularly her signature sportswear, which managed to be simultaneously casual, easy to wear, and chic. There was a simple, clean elegance to everything she designed, and without even trying or thinking about it, she herself was the epitome of casual chic.